August 20th, select board meeting. First, we have a set and custody agenda. I don't believe we have any changes. Okay. Great. All right, next we have communication from the audience. Is anyone here to talk about something that's not already on the agenda? Thank you all for being here. Then we have select board to approve the minutes of the regular select board meeting of August 6th.
So moved.
Any discussion? Great, thank you. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions, great. Next we have town manager report by Justin.
Okay, so the wastewater RFP for the rebuilding and or relocation went out today. It'll be out for the next month, soliciting engineering services for FEMA recovery. That's a big one. We had 8.4 million obligated for the work to that project. That's going to be a actual cost project, so yeah, just hit the off button. Good job. So that'll be based on actual costs. So once we get an engineering consultant in and they start working on preliminaries and final designs, FEMA will obligate the actual cost of that project. So that's not a fixed cost price on that rebuild. The heat pump was installed in the attic of the public safety building through the MERP projects. They're going to do that one, the one in the community center part, community/senior center part. So that is all MERP money, and that will be slated to be finished by October, hopefully. We got notified that the fuel tank in the townhouse was out of code because of the new laws this past year. So we have to put in a second fill pipe on that, or they won't fill the tank. So I went round and round with the heating company and the state about it. And the legs on the tank now have to be 14 inches or less, and they're 16 inches. So
oh, good Lord.
They're going around, and this is the state's way of trying to get people off of fossil fuels. Now they're starting to mess with the oil tanks. So more to come on that, but we'll have to tear apart that and drill another hole through the sill of the townhouse. Because the tank set up there, that's been there for, I don't know, 40, 50 years.
They're in good shape though.
Is now out of compliance. We worked on water sewer rates today. Thank you, Kaylee and Derek. And then we just want to say a big thank you to Pearlie from the road crew for going to the library today and reading to the kids for an hour and talking about road work and road equipment. So that was good. I've agreed to read to the kids at the end of September about water treatment and scuba diving. So if you guys want to come and hear about that.
Is it the same book?
Huh?
The same book?
Same book, yep. I got an oldie but a goodie. And then the bridge, the pedestrian bridge will be set tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I encourage anybody who wants to come and watch, but stay out of the construction zone. All right? That's it. That's all I got.
Lynn's planning to be quite busy tomorrow.
Yeah. The agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that in
Okay.
old business or select board reports
Sure.
towards the end.
Sounds great.
I have it.
Awesome. Any questions? Thank you. Next, we have the Hardwick Police Department report given by Mike Henry.
So staffing, we're finally full. We got everything running really well up there right now, and everything's in order. One thing I've been working on for the last 6 months is updating all of our policies, and that's just about done. So hopefully by within the next few weeks I'll have that complete. We'll be in compliance with all the new policies. East Hardwick purchased their own speed sign, so the town's gonna be helping put that in. They're gonna be installing that up there, so now we'll have 2 solar signs up there in East Hardwick, because we got the one that's up on Church Street, so that's a permanent fixture up there now, and I see that seems to be hopefully making a difference up there. Pretty soon, I think after the next, next fall, we'll get more funding. We'll purchase 2 more portable signs with that money, grant money. And then next week, the schools will be back in session on Wednesday. So just a PSA that we'll be out there doing more enforcement in the morning. Once the kids are starting to move around in the morning, and then same thing after school as well. We'll be out enforcing that. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Questions, Mike? Well, we're happy to have you here, so thank you. Next, we have the Hardwick Electric Department report given by Reno Demers. Welcome, Reno.
Nothing major. Our 2026 budget of $9.2 million is accepted. We entered into a purchase agreement on building at 1868 Route 16 in East Hardwick. And we still have a seat open on the board. And a full financial report will be presented on 9/17 at your meeting.
Great. Reno, do you know when they're going to be moving into that building? What's the timeline for, it's just been purchased.
Excuse me?
When is the office
Purchasing,
planning on moving?
They haven't closed on it yet.
Okay,
Right.
so a couple months to move to the new building on Route 16?
It'll take time to set it up.
Yeah.
They have to have Beth come in and move all of the electronics needed for our office
Great.
personnel. Yeah. So, and a little bit of construction inside to create some office spacing and hopefully a drop box as people use that. So, yeah, it'll take a little time.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So it might also be a good time to mention that the electric department has that, what do you call this thing? The texting,
Text My Gov.
receiving, yeah, Text My Gov receiving message alerts for utility outages and stuff, or things that you're doing. So you posted that, I assume it's on your website. There are signs in various places. I saw one at Union Bank today, but you
It's opt-in.
opt in to it, and then you can get more information. You don't have to depend on Facebook to tell you when there's stuff going on with the electric department. Because a lot of people don't look at Facebook. Anyway, good to know.
Great. Other questions or comments? Awesome, thanks, Reno. Next, we have the Hardwick Zoning Office report given by Kristen Leahy.
Hi. So the first thing, I've been taking things off of this, and I tried to make it shorter. The community survey regarding the Jackson Dam is up until August 28th, which is next Friday. We've had 79 responses so far. Cost, funding, flood risk, sediment, wildlife, hydropower, those are all questions that are coming in. The results will be used to build the next phase of public engagement and public education around what residents are asking about. And that's going to be up to the steering committee. And I believe the first meeting is in the beginning of September. Next week on Wednesday, we're hosting Strategic Wood Edition. It's a presentation with Judd Kratzer at the Judavine at 6 o'clock. It's talking about putting wood back in to improve with like sediment. It's part of the whole watershed concept versus just a property by property idea. And then in September, there's a 3-part fall presentation series. September 9th is landslides, September 16th is woodlands, and September 23rd is sediment. And those are all different presenters, all at the Judavine. We had a neighborhood conversations series this summer. Did a wrap-up, it had a great response to it, and it looks like we'll probably try to do that again next year. It's a different format where it's more informal, it's more hands-on with the residents choosing how they interact with it versus going to a presentation. I've been working with the Streamwise volunteers who are looking at properties on Memorial and on the Cooper. They have funding to help people with adding and repairing buffers, and they are able to provide them with information about how best to work with their stream section or their river section. There is a project that has been in the works since 2023, which is the Memorial River Watershed Hydraulic Monitoring Network, which would be Hardwick and then the towns in the Lamoille County on Lamoille, putting together. The Lamoille County Planning Commission sought the grant funding for it. They anticipate receiving it. They've been told they received it, but they don't have their contract yet. And what they will be doing is stream gauges and stream sensors throughout the whole system. And the USGS individual actually came through to look at where it should go and was absolutely thrilled with one of the locations just above town on Memorial. So there was a question of where it was going to go in the headwaters, whether it should go Woolpit or in Hardwick, and USGS is very excited about the location above Hardwick, below East Hardwick and above Hardwick. And the exciting part about this is this will give us more information about what's going to happen, what's happening with the rivers. Like instead of having to base it on people watching the rivers, it'll give us real-time information. And this is just an amazing next step. And it's amazing that Lamoille County is the one Planning Commission took this on, so that it's not something we have to fundraise or find grants for. East Church Street, those properties are going to be going to abatement in the next week or so, and then demolition right after it. Starting to do the planning to get free consultation for East Hardwick about what will happen on those what could happen on those properties after the demolition. The Planning Commission is working on the updated municipal plan. We're doing a chapter by chapter review. There is going to be a dedicated project page on the website where you can see the schedule, current chapters, etc. It's almost done. It's about to launch. I'm still doing those articles in the Gazette from the watershed. If you have a question that you think would be a useful article, send it my way. I'd be very appreciative. The Sue Minter and the State Treasurer's Climate Superfund team are going to be visiting Hardwick on September 4th for a recovery and resilience review of Hardwick and other areas on the Memorial. And there is a Vermont Emergency Management Conference next month, and Liz Dow and I are presenting From Stories to Solutions, which uses Hardwick examples to show how historical information, oral histories, and resident knowledge can support hazard mitigation. So, I didn't forget anything. That's why I read it. Any questions? Questions? I know you had this in your packet.
Well, thank you so much, Kristen. This is impressive as always. There's a lot going on. Does the board have any specific questions for Kristen this time? I just say I think having this report has been really helpful. So I appreciate you coming in and doing it.
Yeah, and I present it, even if it's not a presentation, because people hear it on the recording versus when it's just in your packets, you guys are the only ones that see what's going on.
Yep.
So it's another form of public engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. It doesn't sound like there are any questions. Next, we have item 1, select board to hear from the equity committee on their equity project. Welcome.
You don't know me, I'm Amy Rosenthal, I'm the chair of the equity committee, and thanks for letting us come here. We should have been here many years ago, but we're glad to be here now and talk about what it is we're doing and what we've done in the past and what we're doing. You've got under place a report from our equity project, and just to give you a little bit of background, the equity committee was started by the select board post George Floyd, when many towns and communities were putting together committees to begin to kind of look at some quality of life issues and how policies and procedures were impacting all residents and communities. And so as an equity committee, we've been tasked both to provide some consultation to you all or other town departments around equity issues. If there's a policy or procedure, OB's come a few times to talk with us, and we've talked about issues like water rates and sewer rates and ways in which they can be more equitable, because we're looking not just around racial, but we're also looking at socioeconomic issues and what's fair and what's right. So our goal has really been to build the capacity of everyone in the community to begin to look at these issues on their own, not to have us be there policing anybody. And so to do that, we've sponsored workshops, we've sponsored educational experiences, we've done book groups, and 2 years ago we applied for a grant through the Vermont Community Foundation, to do a project with particularly targeting those organizations that get funding from the town, so those who get appropriations from the town, to really look at how are they making decisions about equity issues within their own organizations. And we got the grant. We spent about 6 months putting together a framework. If you look in the appendix back here, you'll see this framework. We looked everywhere to find one, other places, and couldn't find one, so we put one together. And it's the purpose is to be used not just by small organizations, but the schools and you all and other departments to determine how are you making decisions. When you make a decision, you have a new policy, and you look at who is it going to impact, who is it going to advantage, and who might it disadvantage. And I think that we can't 100% guarantee that everyone will be advantaged, but if we begin to do the habit of looking at these things through a different lens, we might end up recognizing, we had this conversation about the road crew and how great they are at plowing the roads, but oftentimes in doing that, they put snow on the sidewalk, so people who need to walk can't walk. And so it's kind of raising awareness of saying everyone can win here if we're aware. And it's small things. It's not big things necessarily that we looked at. So we spent 6 months identifying and recruiting 8 different organizations, including the town, the schools, and other organizations that were listed in this report. And we did a 4-part process through an appreciative inquiry lens, where we asked them to really look at what are the ways of already addressing equity, what are their strengths in their organizations, and then we asked them to look at dreaming. What is it, if money wasn't an object, what would they want to do? And they identified over a series of 3 hours, 4 times in the year coming together, they identified things that they dreamed about, things that they'd like to do better. They began to develop collaborations with each other. There was a lot of focus on food security, as you can see some of the organizations that were involved, physical access to buildings, and how do we also get engagement communities. And the town, out of this came the J-Term project with the schools, because that was identified by the town as what we want to put the money towards, although you all didn't take the money, but we gave $1,100 in stipends to each one of the participants. Their projects are outlined here, and they range in scope to beginning to build a ramp for the Grange, East Hardwick neighborhood association organization is looking at how to engage citizens. The food pantry is looking at what does it mean to talk about a livable wage. And we gave them some extra money to put together some research to have a day-long summit with folks in the community to talk about what is a livable wage, especially when we are looking at a lot of part-time employees, but also seasonal employees. So how do we help that? How do we look at things like housing and look at food security as well? The Center for an Ag Economy is going to do a training on a just transition project, looking at how we can look at making the way we do business with each other fairer. All in an attempt to kind of apply this, what we call common human decency, as we approach folks in the community, how we do that. We finished that project in February. We've been working on a summary as a result. We also put together a t-shirt. We can have a softball team now, which is they're going to be around town. We're going to be giving them to our project, but we are going to sell them and then make decisions about what we put the money to. This graphic was drawn by your very own Kaylee Galloway. And it does describe the things that each of the projects we're looking at in the course of the year. Most recently, we've been tasked to become part of the town meeting task force, which has been meeting, I can say, quite successfully. Thank you, Larry and Sherry, for joining us the last 2 weeks. We've got folks coming forward that have been working really hard to gather information, which will eventually go up on the website, all of the information that we're gathering about other towns that are looking at the issue of town meeting and how to make it more accessible. It was identified at the special meeting as an equity issue, and so we raised our hand and said, we'll come and help with that. And so we've been doing that all as part of what it is we feel is important. If one day everyone is looking at equity, just organically, we can hang up our boots and go home and it's all together. But right now, this is sort of where we are. Are there any questions as I ramble on? Comments for class, dedication?
Well, I really enjoyed teaching the J-term class at the school about local government and how young voters, soon-to-be voters, can access local government. I thought that was very useful for myself and also for the students, and I hope to do it again.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what came out of this has been some really interesting conversations. We went up to the school afterwards, and they have a recipe for human connections class. And David, we're talking about doing a recipe for civic connections class, which would be a class where kids could learn about how to get engaged in all areas of civic life, both as thinking about future careers in law enforcement and road crew and all of that, but also as a way for them to feel more a part. Our thought is that we want folks, I think we all want folks to feel like they belong here and that they matter, meaning that they add value and they are valued. And that, certainly is something that we aspire to, and asking ourselves the question, well, what makes people feel like they belong? I think this whole town meeting process is really like, oh yeah, help me realize that's really what we're talking about, that when people said we want to have more say in things, it's they want to add value and to be heard. And so how do we do that in a way that we all think, oh, this is easy, but it does get complicated. But we're having these really amazing conversations that will be brought out to the community. There will be opportunities for the community also to come in and give feedback before we give you a recommendation on the 19th of November at 12:01, I guess. And we're hoping to get it done. Right?
We are going to get it done.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you want to add to that? To what I just said, okay?
Amy, I'm curious if you're using the equity framework for the task force,
We
or
haven't,
parts of it.
we haven't yet, but in some ways it's sort of organically people are coming up with, well, what about these folks? What about people who can't drive? What about people who are homebound? What about people who don't have internet? What about people who work, like all of those issues that we talk about which is, it makes my heart sing to hear other people raising them without saying whatever. But, you know, we're also now at that just stage of having conversations and recognizing there's going to be a process. But yeah, we probably could, and I will bring it, Kaylee, next Wednesday. Any other questions, comments, requests, dedications? If you'd like a t-shirt, Don has some.
I'm a t-shirt manager.
He's a t-shirt manager. So, thank you. And thank you for your support. I think because of your support, we had some funds to add to a lot of these organizations and said, hey, go do something extra, and we're there to support you. We're not there to take away their agency at all, but being there to say, we support what you do, because we're lucky we have some really amazing individuals in this community who are doing really great work. So, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming.
Then I want to thank the Vermont Community Foundation for the $10,000 grant.
Yeah.
Does the board have any other questions or comments? Amy, can you remind us of the meeting that's Mondays at the regular meeting, just in case people want to come to the equity committee meeting?
Yeah, we will be meeting this Monday, actually, at the senior center.
Community center. Community center
The community center.
/ senior center.
Community center, sorry.
Former.
The place on the hill.
The center.
And we normally meet the first Monday. We will not, obviously, because it's Labor Day in September, but that's when we normally meet. And we do have a Zoom option for people who want to Zoom in.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I would personally love a t-shirt, but now is not a great time for me to jump out of the chair, but thank you for bringing forward.
Is it 5:30 your meeting?
6.
Which Monday?
First
First Monday, which is?
First Monday, and it's always a
Next
great
week.
snack.
That's not Labor Day. The first Monday isn't Labor Day this
It
year.
isn't.
Oh, it isn't, sorry.
It always
So
is.
we'll be meeting probably the first Monday.
Right, which is the first Monday.
Yeah. and it's
Oh, is it?
It's always the
It's
first
always the
Monday.
first Monday.
It's just that sometimes it falls on a certain day. Sometimes the first day.
I
I'm not
question myself.
really up on my holidays. I
Oh,
probably
you're
got
not.
Abington Battle
It's
Day off,
not
but
really in the.
If not, it's an oversight.
good.
The proper response is, I'm always working, I don't take leave.
Every day is a holiday to me,
You're so
so when I'm working.
Be in your world.
Well, thank you very much for coming, and thank you other equity committee
What should I
members
say
for being
really?
here. I'm going to move us along. Next, we have item 2, select board to review quotes for a new police cruiser and select a vendor to purchase.
Thank you.
We were going to do this last time, Mike, but you weren't here, and
Probably good next week.
He's finally made up his mind, I think.
Yeah, well, decided to try another hybrid. So,
you're so excited.
Are you sure?
no, but I got talked into it, so. we'll
By
give it a
whom?
shot. Local, we'll go local.
They talked you into it, or other
Yeah.
local police that have used a similar?
The dealership talked me into it. It's gonna be better.
Never trust the dealership.
They,
Did they
I
give you a
think
discount?
that the shifting in the interceptors, I think it's been well-known by law enforcement. I think Ford has done a better job with the electronics and the transmission. And I think we were told today that it's better. It's not the way a normal mechanical transmission shifts, but it's better than it was, so.
It's not normal.
Well, it just,
It just
it lags.
there's
There could be
a,
a couple seconds where it's
Yeah,
kind
like-
of deciding which motor to pick up. and-
if you turn around on a vehicle and you are doing a K-turn or a J-turn in the middle of the road, you have to go from forward to reverse rather quickly, and then reverse to forward. And if you're sitting in the road and there's traffic coming, you want to try to get out of the road as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So you have to wait to hit the gas when you put it in drive. You have to wait like a split second before you push the gas and go. I've experienced it, and it's
Can be several seconds.
Your heart raises. Yeah, your heart comes up.
Or sometimes if you're on a hill,
So-
you put it in gear, you put it in reverse, and you're
Yeah,
rolling back or forward or whatever,
yeah.
Um,
So,
it's
So
just-
there isn't a better
It doesn't
vehicle
sound
for
great.
this?
We're gonna try this. We'll give it a shot.
I'm glad to hear you're giving it a shot. I'm
and
glad that it.
it's the chief's car, and
Yeah.
hopefully he's not
Yeah.
turning around on a lot
Not
of
turning
vehicles.
around that much.
Right,
We'll-
right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want it for one of the patrol vehicles, but
Okay.
we'll give it a
We'll
shot.
see, maybe
We
the
can't just-
improvements are as good as they say.
We can't just find you like a 2002 Crown Vic.
Yeah.
There we go.
I know they are. That's why they used them for so long.
Yeah.
Just let 'em have a
I
new-
prefer my 1994 Chevy Caprice that I had.
Okay,
There you go.
I'll keep an eye
I'm sure
on it.
that's running
Bring
well.
that baby
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
Well, if this is what you want, Mike.
I'll make a motion to
Which of the-
to buy whatever car Mike wants.
Can we say it that
Well,
way?
let's put it that way.
No, I don't know. Yeah, right.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the police interceptor from Lamoille Valley Ford.
Are you sure you don't want like a truck or something like that, a Raptor or something like that?
For me? No, I wouldn't.
Police car. I just wanna
I'll
make sure.
I'll second the motion.
I don't know if we can pull that off.
So-
Mike.
Is there any other discussion?
You have a good enough motion there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Great, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Great. Congratulations, Mike. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
Okay, next we have item three,
There'll
select
be
board
a
to
used
cons-
interceptor for sale.
Yeah, there
2
you go.
years.
Item three,
No.
select board to consider approving a grant proposal to apply for FY 2027 municipal planning grant that will assess housing opportunity and capacity assessment in Hardwick. Is there anything you want to talk about here? Kristen, did you want to go? I know you gave us a letter, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's your baseline understanding of what you actually have. And we have a limited capacity on how to help a developer. This will help us target what areas really would be best for increasing development. We've done the bylaws, we've done all these other pieces and parts. This is the next step. We do have housing numbers. They're not based on our actual land. They're based on governance, the fact that we have staff who can work on projects and townwide and town support. So this will help us understand what we actually have here. And one of the elements would be looking at how many properties are underutilized and empty. If we get this, bringing in consultants to work with the planning commission, this is an element that we are supposed to have in our housing chapter under the new rules. So this would be a great way to put it together.
I will make a motion to approve the proposal to apply for the fiscal year 2027 municipal planning grant.
Actually, can I ask you to do a different
Yeah.
motion? You would motion to adopt the resolution, the municipal resolution form to support.
So moved.
No,
Second.
I will make a motion to approve the submission of that one.
No, wait.
Adopt the resolution.
Yeah. That's what you said.
Adopt the municipal resolution form to pursue the fiscal year 2027 municipal plan.
Okay.
Is that,
I'm okay with that.
I'll second that as a planning commission member that is interested in this information also. I mean, I'll second it as a select board member because I'm also interested.
Is there any discussion or questions? Thanks.
It's been a long day.
We're picking up what you're putting
You
down.
have to authorize, and can you authorize the planning commission chair to sign the resolution?
no, he's already.
Oh, he's got it?
ready to do it.
Okay, I'm looking at the one in here.
Uh,
Do we have to authorize anybody?
They all have to sign.
The select board.
Sign.
Okay.
We just-
Got
It
it.
should be on there.
Yeah, it is.
I have a super quick question and discussion. The $3,500 local cash match, is that just coming out of
Interest.
interest? Great.
Nice.
This is really more information behind the decisions for housing.
Yep.
It's gonna give us more tools.
Yep, we're not making any decisions about housing currently, we're gathering more
We're getting the
information.
rest of the information so we can
Great.
We've done the.
to help get the project going.
We've done the bylaw changes that allow for infill. This is the next piece. And especially since there's limited property available in our infill areas, and this will help us look at what is available and then potentially look out.
Awesome, great. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Great, thank you, Kristen. And this is the legislative body paper that we're signing, right?
Yes, your name should be.
That's the resolution.
This is, okay,
Yeah.
great. Excellent, thank you. Next, we have item 4, select board to review proposals received for construction manager / owner's representative for the CRDMF utility elevation project, to select a contractor and authorize the town manager to execute a contract. Kristen, do you want to just walk us through, you're
So
again
the
for,
CRDMF is the Community Resilient Disaster Mitigation Fund. It was envisioned by the legislature as a program to elevate properties. They picked 5 towns to receive it. We were one of the towns. At this point, my understanding is none of the towns have been able to utilize the funds for what they envisioned. I went back to them and said I would like to switch this funding to utility elevations to help keep our housing stock intact in the Granite Street Historic District. We put it out to that district. 11 families requested to be part of it. I realized I didn't have enough time to organize all these different pieces, so we put it out to have a construction manager / owner representative be in town to work with us. And we received 4 applications. One was amazing, but $250,000.
I wondered about that.
One didn't really, yeah, they did all this, they did their application was amazing. They
Did
did
they
all
just-
standing stuff.
I just wondered when I read it, like, did they maybe think it was 1,100 houses
Maybe.
or something?
No,
Or,
I mean,
I'm not even really joking. Like,
Well-
do they realize we're talking about 11
Well, we
buildings
have-
total?
We have much more than that.
But I mean, in the
amount,
project,
you know.
the project is for 300 hours with 11 buildings, and
Yep.
their amount seemed like it might have been, like maybe they thought we were in Manhattan or something.
Well, they are from that area.
That's why I thought,
So,
you know, I should, yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of nice to see that level of
Yeah.
application come in. So I looked through, there are 2 in particular, PCI, which does a lot of the work over in Chittenden County, and then Co and Co, who did Yellow Barn. My recommendation is Co and Co. And they will hopefully be able to take some of the work off my plate for that particular project.
I will make a motion to authorize the town manager to execute a contract with Co and Co Architecture for owner's representative / construction management services for the utility elevation assistance program, subject to final contract terms.
Second.
any discussion? I would say once again, Kristen, it's so helpful to be able to compare, beyond just reading the individual submissions, like breaking this down is very, very helpful. So thank you for putting that together. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstentions, none. Great, thank you very much. Congratulations to Co and Co. That's a super exciting project, so looking forward to seeing the results of that. Next we have, next page, item 5, select board to review bids for the NRCS Emergency Watershed Protection, EWP Slope Stabilization Projects, select a contractor, and to authorize the town manager to execute the contract. Okay. Opie or Kristen, do you just want to quickly talk us through what project this is, just for those who are listening?
Do you want to do it or you want me to?
I can do it.
Okay.
So this is the Emergency Watershed Protection funding from NRCS. It's supposed to come the same year you experience the disaster, which is 2024. We had 5 projects originally accepted by them. they were supposed to do the engineering. It happened around the same time that a lot of staff were released from the federal government, so they lost their engineers. So we hired Verdantis to do this work. One of the projects became a little too expensive for the 25% match. Another project is one of the towns, the Inn by the River. There's probably something different that will happen, and the cost was not low enough. If it had been 100% match, we probably would have proceeded to just do the stabilization and then go forward. But because it's a 75-25, it's a 25%, substantial amount of money for the town to do something that might not endure.
Or we might tear it up.
Endure meaning we would probably tear it up. So we were down to three properties. One is Christina Saul's. She's out on Cooper Brook. The brook is actively eating the bank towards her home. The second one is the 41 Brush Street, which we purchased, and is the bank has been moving back actively, and the concern is the utilities and the road, not a structure, but infrastructure. And then the final one is the co-op has a section of bank behind their building that has been actively eroded. So those are the three projects. We had 6 bidding companies. I went through for the first time just to pull everything together, and then Verdantis reviewed and checked references, etc., and recommended hiring K. Bellavance Landworks and Hauling with a total of $182.47. They were all excellent submissions. They purely went down to price at this point.
I'll make a motion to authorize the town manager to execute a contract with K. Bellavance Landworks and Haulings for the NRC SEWP bake stabilization projects.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to add, this program, there's specific requirements to a property being eligible for this funding. And we didn't just pick the 5, we didn't just pick the 3. NRCS comes in and looks at, I think we over the course of 23 and 24, I think we hit probably a dozen or more.
15
Yeah.
altogether. We did 11 and 24.
So this isn't just picking properties. There's specific guidelines that NRCS looks for to protect property and structures. So houses, barns, roads, like human structures. So just want to add
the
that.
same
And I know
program.
that we presented Pacific Standard Building, for example, twice both years, and it did not, I don't know the exact reason, but it did not meet the threshold they were looking for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the sort of thing that we try to introduce them to every possible project.
We've already used this program for the 23.
We have
We did. That was 100% match that
3,
year, though.
I think on 3 locations.
3 locations,
Yeah.
yes. And actually, the nice thing with this, we're supposed to look at doing riparian plantings afterwards. And Streamlines, that we were spoke of earlier, has already installed at one of the locations and is looking at the other location to do the installation. So that works with what we are asked to do after. It's a nice partnership.
Great, and you just said, Kristen, these are not 100% FEMA funded, they're not 100% funded? Or
This
they
year,
are?
they're 75-25.
Okay,
And
For-
the landowners
do the 25.
do the 25.
Great. Great. Does board members have any other questions or comments? Great, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, thank you. Now we have item 6, select board to consider approving a grant proposal to apply for the USDA disaster relief funds for the wastewater treatment facility. Opie, you wanna
Yep.
talk us through this one?
I can do this. This would be stacking funds on the relocation or rebuilding of the wastewater plant. This is an application for you guys, for a grant. It's the Disaster Assistance Fund through Rural Development, USDA. There's money set aside for just Vermont. I talked about it in the last meeting. It's 15 million for the 4720 and 8 million for the 4810 disasters. This is for the 3 wastewater plants, although it's open to the entire state for wastewater. So I want to do an application. I don't necessarily know yet. USDA hasn't developed a solid plan. They haven't developed an application yet for the funds, but they're accepting applications through the Water Environment Program, the WET program. So we just need to get an application started. I'm unsure yet of the amount of money that we're gonna need to stack on top of the FEMA funds. And this would be for added process or added process, whether it's sludge, whether it's a different form of treatment that's not covered through the FEMA rebuilding or relocating. So I just want to be able to make these funds available to us if we need them. And I don't, the match is currently 25%. However, USDA is unsure if they're going to allow waivers for the match. I am also trying to, I had a conversation today with the State Recovery Office about having the SRF program, which is the State Revolving Loan Fund for water and wastewater, cover the match with a 0 interest loan or a forgivable loan. So Pat Moulton is checking on that. So a lot of moving parts with this funding mechanism, but I just want to be able to get an application in so we kind of put our foot in the door for this money.
And so this is the first step in getting an app. We haven't even gotten the application
This
yet.
is allowing me to do the application.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make a motion to approve the grant proposal to apply for the USDA Disaster Relief Fund.
No, this Disaster Assistance Fund.
Disaster Assistance Fund.
Yeah, it's different because there is a Disaster Relief Fund.
I'm just reading it based on the agenda, so
Yep,
yes.
yep. DAF is the program.
Okay, whatever you need, sir.
Sorry.
Second.
Is there any other discussion or questions? I am wondering if, what the timeline would be for submitting it, and then we have no idea, a couple years.
Our,
Hearing that.
the RFP that went out said 2030 for the completion of the wastewater plant. So we're looking at least 4, maybe 5 years.
It's crazy, that's only
Yeah, 20,
Yeah,
that far away.
but probably longer.
Okay, and then we wouldn't have to commit there then as time to figure out either where a match is coming from or what actually we would have to do for a match.
So we would have to have a match kind of identified by the when they obligate the money. Probably before that, if we're successful in receiving the grant.
So by 2030 or before that?
no, before.
Way before.
Way before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have some possibilities. We have $1.7 million set aside for the lift stations. That is a forgivable, 700,000 of that is forgivable if we upsize the lift stations. So I'm wondering if they'll let us pivot that, because now the lift stations are included in the wastewater RFP. So there's just like a lot of moving parts right now.
But it gives us time to find theoretically 2 million in match funds.
Yeah.
any other?
But this is a priority not only for the town, but it's a priority for the state,
Yeah.
our wastewater treatment facility. So we have a lot of people in our court helping us out.
Great. Thank you. Any more questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? I'm going to abstain from this one.
I think you have to sign.
Yeah,
Good
this
thing.
right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so next we have select board reports.
Tonight is the last concert of the Craftsbury Chamber Players in the townhouse. So they're wrapping up their 60th season in our Hardwick townhouse. Next week we have a wedding, so private affair, but you know, it's kind of nice to know these things are happening. So that's a Neck Arts report.
Awesome. Any other select board reports? We already kind of heard about the task force from Amy.
Right?
Yeah, I don't have anything extra on
Okay.
that. I don't know if Sherry does or not, but I can't
No,
see.
I mean, we're working on it.
It's a good conversation.
We're meeting weekly, almost weekly, so
Great.
I'm sure you're all glad that you're not joining us for those.
Well, thank you both
Working hard.
for doing that.
It's thoughtful conversation. It's good debate and discussion.
Yeah.
Great. I have a report about the Caspian Beach. You all probably remember that a few months ago, the Orleans Conservation District came to ask about writing a grant to do planning for some beach improvements to help with runoff and their stream-wise, lake-wise initiatives. Thank you. They did receive a grant for that. They have run into a bit of a wall in that a part of accepting that grant is that they have to have an organization or a group commit to maintaining the final design, which has not yet been created, of that project. They did bring that to the beach committee, which currently the beach committee maintains that property. And the beach committee did not want to take ownership of that management. So now the Conservation District is trying to figure out if and how they're going to move forward. They have had a conversation with the Greensboro Conservation Commission and the Hardwick Conservation Commission about that, but I wanted to bring it to the select board. The Conservation Commission was having a meeting about it tonight, but I thought it was important for the select board to hear that, see if there are any questions, and potentially add it as an item for our next meeting to decide what we want to do about that. Did I miss anything? Been a lot of phone calls today.
About that.
Yeah. Questions? Comments?
We can put it on the agenda.
We can? Totally.
Is that what you want to do?
We totally can. I just wanted to bring it before, so
What would we be putting on the agenda?
that's my question, is what we
Okay.
would put on the agenda. So we previously said that we would support a grant to do this. And they received the grant, which is great. My question for the select board, which we can wait, we can either talk about it tonight, we can save it for next time, is if there is not a Hardwick organization if there's not an organization that's involved from Hardwick maintaining our property, who is going to do it? And if it makes sense. Because it sounds like the Greensboro Conservation Commission is happy to do it. But that's also the Greensboro Conservation Commission. We have yet to see what the Hardwick Conservation Commission has said, and I will follow up with them. I'll follow up with Lucy tomorrow, but,
What's
Is the-
the maintenance, like
Well, that's the challenge,
There's no
is that
final design. How do
there's
we
no
know?
final design. So there's the 30% design. What changes is really according to Will, is the maintaining whatever plantings are done. And then if you remember, they're in the 30% design, they're proposing paving the boat launch, and then there's a drain that would have to be annually cleaned out, otherwise it'll clog.
Yep.
So that, according to Will, is the maintenance. But because there's not a final design, it's really hard to know exactly how much new vegetation there would be or how much new plantings. The mowing would stay the same, so I don't.
So to clarify, the beach committee will continue maintaining what they've been maintaining, but they don't want to take on maintaining the additional stuff. Is that what you
Correct.
said? Okay.
Yeah.
And
I think
so,
there's not enough information for us to make a decision tonight.
That's
so
what I
probably
figured.
should.
Great, so I will get more
Push it to the
information and we'll
next.
add it to the next agenda.
And when we know what the Conservation Commission is interested in taking on.
Does that sound reasonable? I guess.
It does sound reasonable.
yeah,
Okay.
to me it does.
Okay.
But if the two conservation commissions collaborated on the thing, it seems like a good way forward.
Collaborative conservation.
Okay. I will continue to deal with that. Awesome. Are there any other select board reports? New business?
So maybe people have noticed that the position to, for a contract person to do the Spring Fest event planning coordination, I can't remember now, right this second off the top of my head.
Event plan?
Event planner, basically. That position has been posted, and it's on Front Porch Forum, it's on on posters around town. The town website has it. The Downtown Partnership site might have it at some point, but if anybody's not seeing it and wants to see it, be in touch with me. I can send out the posting. But we're hoping to attract someone who wants to apply to do that by September 30th is the deadline. Because basically Spring Fest needs to get started planning, right, basically in October, usually start, so,
Goes fast.
yeah. But
Awesome. Sounds like a good side job for somebody. Any other new business?
I have new business. I just want, or that'd be old business, the agenda for the retreat.
Is there any old business?
All right. So I have Kaylee and I sat down this morning and went over the retreat agenda. I have a rough agenda. I can spit out here and you can weigh in on it. But so the meeting's gonna be from 8 to 12.
What date again?
Friday, September 25th.
September 25th.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's what I have.
And so from 8 to 8:30, we're gonna talk about efficiencies and streamlining, because that was requested within the town government and operations. We devoted a half an hour to that. And then from 8:30 to 10, we'll talk about the projects, just an overview and discussion, a list of all projects, to include the recent projects we did with outside consultants, for example, Mill Street, Main Street, Better Connections, and then any ongoing projects and any future projects. This is just, and we'll bring people in to discuss these projects. And then public outreach and education from 10 to 11 on local option tax, CHIP, and TIF. So Kaylee has offered to brush up on her CHIP, and we'll bring in some folks from outside. We'll invite some people, hopefully, maybe from NVDA, to come in and have that discussion. And then if anybody wanted to brush up on their local option tax stuff, maybe they could present a little bit on that.
I imagine Downtown Partnership and Heidi could be tasked with that.
Okay.
We just attended that VLCT training
Yep.
webinar thing.
Okay. We're in a little bit of a different local option tax climate, seeing all the towns around us have a local option tax now. And then from 11 to 12, we'll go into executive session on real estate and personnel. And we'll invite our road foreman for that conversation to talk about potential people needed or succession plans for the road crew. What do you think?
Where is it?
We can have it up at it's pretty nice to meet up there. It's quiet.
Where?
The
At the public safety building,
Doesn't matter.
or the community, public safety building, community center, or senior center, whatever you want
Which
to call it.
one are they gonna
It's
meet?
It's the same.
Right in the doorway in
Yeah,
between.
we see on that side.
Let's meet in
Yeah.
the jail.
Yeah, yeah.
Downstairs.
So if there's anything that you guys want to add or anything you want to hone in on, just let me know and I can highlight that in the agenda, but I'll get it out real soon.
Great,
Sounds good.
thank you.
Okay?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other, things would be any other old business?
The Jackson Dam Steering Committee. Did you bring that up? September 10th is the first meeting.
Great,
That's 2.
thanks for being involved in that, Eric.
Yeah.
Might not be there, but
But you reminded us about it, which is great.
I know it's there. I just thought I can get done.
Yeah. Awesome, thanks, everybody. A motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thanks, everybody. We'll see you.